Hello, welcome to Mindset to Results. And today our guest is Olesia Sinkova. She is from Ukraine as me. And it was really my pleasure to meet you, Olesia, and hear your story. So let's speak about resilience. I think this is something that is common between us, and we had to be resilient to overcome so many challenges. And I think this is something that we can share with people who might be going through challenges as well, and they might benefit from our stories and from your story today.
Hi, hello, Elena, and hello, everyone. Yes, sure, I agree that there are so many challenges in our lives these days, not only war. So everyone has something going on in their lives, right? It can be change of the career path or divorce or any other change. So it is truly important to find our inner strength and inner ability to withstand the times and the challenges that we face. And that was my lesson, which I learned in a hard way, being a refugee, being forced to leave my country with three little children, my ex-husband running with two little backpacks in the middle of, well, it was spring, but it felt like winter, going nowhere and just jumping into this unknown. And when we arrived to Germany, my cousin lives here. She welcomed us, yet I couldn't feel safe. My life was saved. My children were safe. Everything was okay. Everything was all right. We were waking up in the morning and the sky was blue, and the people were smiling, and everything was okay. But I felt so broken inside and so lost, and a lot of anxiety kicked in, and it was so heavy, so heavy. And I think that at some point we all come to this point that you have your life, you live it, you have everything in order, but you feel that you're disconnected with this life. You cannot fully um, live it. So it forced me to dig deeper into myself and find the ways how to withstand this pressure and how to let go of the anxiety and stress that were blocking me from living. And my own way was to do it with yoga and meditation. I have been into this practice for more than 15 years. So I just started to do it daily. And breath work led me to control over my biochemistry. And it helped me to feel okay, I'm in charge at least of my body, how I feel inside it. Meditation helped me to refocus on what is right now available to me, not the past that I had abruptly left behind me, but to focus on what is available right here, right now, and what I have to manage. So, this area of responsibility, being in charge of my own body and state, helped me to see that, okay, not everything is lost. I can still manage this. And it helped me to build my confidence and regain the power that I had of communication with other people, of building new network, of creating something. And later, I started my own circle of support for Ukrainians, doing the same thing that I did for myself. It helped my children to get new friends and to find their new life here and to build it. So I think that there are tools that are available to us to regain our own strength.
Yeah, great. Thank you for sharing. So let's go a little bit deeper to all those emotions, because it is important, I think, to let emotions not to be suppressed, right?
Yeah,
How to
that's true.
work with emotions, because we came through these challenges which are really very emotional, right? And
Mhm.
it also took me quite a long time just to not look for the news and not just to see what is happening now, because that is such a shock. We had emotional impact, right? And emotional
Mhm.
impact is something that really changes everything. Like, you don't feel that you are that person anymore. You just become like different person, and this is very important to work with those emotions and to get, I like as you said that you got control over your body. And this is very important because sometimes when such situation happen that we cannot control,
Mhm.
and it feels that we cannot control our mind because we have so many thoughts, and all these fears comes, right? And uncertainty comes, and all these doubts and comes, and you don't know where you go, where you get your children, where, what is life looking tomorrow. And all this uncertainty creates so much stress. And how we proceed it is important, because getting into control, right? Getting in control. And I like how you got in control with your yoga and meditation. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, that's a really important question about not suppressing emotions, because emotions are like children. If you don't pay attention to them, they will just destroy your life. In therapy, we say that emotion is in motion, so it has to be in motion to let it go. So it just moves as a cloud on the sky. But normally people associate themselves with emotions. If I feel this, I am this. And this is where the hook is. So when we get hooked to trauma in the past, and our experience of war is a huge trauma that can truly hold us back. And that's where yoga and meditation and mindfulness, I think, are super helpful, because they help us to disconnect with the event, disconnect with the emotion, and see that it's just part of the transition I'm in, that's coming and going, that's not fully me. I started to I started my discovery in therapy long ago, like 15 years ago, and I got hooked on this subconscious mind thing, because it really, everything that we experience then later is stored in our subconscious mind, in our body. And even if time passes and we think, okay, it was long ago, but then something just triggers you and you're back in those feelings, just like we could hear the fireworks outside and we were thinking it was bombing, we think there was rockets coming. And with the mind I understood that no, it is not possible, we are in Germany, we are far away from Ukraine, yet my body was already running. And that's how I find this breath work super important, because we control our mind while we control our breath. And when a super stressful event happens, this is something that I teach to every single refugee here, that the first thing we do is we slow our breath, we make it deeper, and then we are connected to, on a deeper level, we are connected to our mind, and we see that we are beyond this, and we can control at least our reaction, at least we can keep our mind clean. So when the breath changes, in yoga we say the mind goes where the breath goes. So if we breathe in a shallow manner, so it's very shallow, and
On the
then the
surface.
mind is also running those thoughts. So we are caught up in this circle of emotion, of reaction. And as soon as we go down and we start to breathe with our belly, then the mind comes down and we are able to truly estimate what is going on and truly see what is now happening and what was happening like long ago or 2 years ago or some time ago. So this is super helpful thing that I would really love every single person to know. Breath controls our mind.
Yes, yes. Thank you for sharing. Breath controls our mind, yes, and our health also depends on the way how we breathe, right? Because our cells need oxygen,
Yes.
and if we don't breathe good, well,
Mhm.
our cells don't get that oxygen. They need
Mhm.
oxygen, they need water, and they need elements, right? So breathing is really important. And when people have anxiety or panic attacks, I also had panic attacks, like really, like after this happened and we moved out from Ukraine, I could wake up in the night from panic attack, and it was scaring. Like it was the feeling that I will die now. Like this is that was the feeling, like some fear from nowhere, just out, like sudden, and the heart beats like do 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 do. Like you feel like now your heart just will like fly away. Yes, and yes, and what was helping me also, I was just immediately was studying breathing. Just I was studying breathing and just thinking about my breath and like counting like to 10 inhale, then hold, and 10 exhale. And
Mhm.
this is the remedy which I took. I never took any remedy, because what people do automatically, they would go to doctors, they will get some medicine. But
Yeah.
from my experience, breathing, these exercises and mindfulness, getting your mind in the control, because when this fear comes, like,
Mhm.
and your heart beats like this, and the first just like what will happen with my family when I die, right? Or what will happen with my daughter, because it feels like that, because your heart is just beating so fast, and you just think that maybe like you don't even have chance to get
That's true.
right anywhere. But then when we get mindful and get those thoughts, the first thing, right, to get those thoughts under control, just to start in thinking, just this is just something that's happening, but I can control it.
Mhm.
I can control it by my thoughts. Nothing wrong is going to happen. And I can control it with my breathing, right? And then when we start doing this, we can see that we come down and everything every time. It happened to me many times, initially, especially. Like it happened to me many times. And I was just doing this breath work, and now I don't have that anymore.
Mhm. Yes, beautiful. That's true. And
Yes,
I think that trauma is this experience in trauma is super uh, difficult to overcome without doing something with the body, with the mind. It will kick in again and again, and it will be robbing you of life. Truly, we have so many examples of how people got stuck in life because of those replays of trauma. And Germany is filled with refugees from different countries. And we meet them at the German language courses. And this is where we hear lots of stories and lots of drama and lots of trauma. And it really, it excites me how powerful we are, and yet how much um, power we give away to the circumstances and to some events that happen to us. But yet, when we start working on our mindfulness and start working on our body, on control of our breath, it helps us to see, okay, I truly can do it. It is in my, it is, it is something that I am capable of. And then you can set yourself free from your past. It's such a beautiful thing. It's freedom.
yes, yes. I liked how you said that sometimes we don't understand that we have the power inside us, and we shouldn't give it quickly up out. Yes, we
Mhm.
shouldn't give up, because when we don't understand that we can get things in control, that we start believing that there are other people or doctors or other people should come and save us, right?
Mhm.
And we have that victim mentality that somebody has to save us. Was me when we came to England, and I came with my mother who was 85 and my daughter who was 14, and we hardly brought my mother alive here, because two times she was losing her conscious. She was fainting on the way, and we were calling ambulance. So we hardly came here, and I was just in such condition that I thought I cannot handle myself. It is too
Mm-hmm.
much. Like my daughter also got depression and panic attacks and started getting hallucinations. My mother was sick. I have everything just to start from beginning, from scratch. And it was feeling too much that I was feeling that I cannot do myself. I need help. Like, come save me. And then I understood, no, nobody's here to save you. This is you who have to take responsibility and do what you can. Nobody is here to save you. The only one who can save you and help you, it is you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is how we get our power back. Yeah, because when we just looking for outside factors, we lose the power. Yes, and this
Mm-hmm.
is important to get it back and and get become mindful and see what you have, what you can do, and just do it, and get every day better.
Yes, that's true. This is a story of such resilience that you have shared, and I can relate to those feelings. And actually, when I came to Germany sometime later, we published a book about volunteers in Ukraine. Those were just stories of people, from all walks of life, like photographers, I don't know, stylists, salespeople, who took responsibility to do what they could right where they were and helping other people in the situation. And for me, it was such a beautiful thing to notice about myself and about other people, that there is this kind of a, a leader inside each of us that is sitting there and waiting when we will use his or her voice or hands or resources or anything to activate it and to acknowledge that, okay, yes, I have this power to do this.
Yesterday I was thinking about my journey. Really, like it is so much resilience. I thought, like, if something that I would really like to share with people and teach them, if there would be one thing, I think it would be resilience. Because really, when we go through so many challenges, and when things are in such a big scale, right, like a war,
Mm,
and we discover that power inside us, which we were not even aware of. So
mhm,
it comes, and yesterday I was thinking about this, like, what keeps me going? What keeps me, like, doing what I do, right? And the answer was spirit. The answer was spirit. I just
yeah.
said, yes, this is spirit. This is not my body. The body is weak, right? So if we look at this point that we dwell in three different planes,
Mhm,
we have the body, we are spiritual beings, and we have intellect. So I think that the spirit in such situation, it becomes like activated, right? Activated, and we tap to that power which we were not even aware of, and then we just go with the spirit. And I think that Ukrainian nation has that powerful spirit, because what we do now, like what our men do, it is just, it looks like impossible, right? And
mhm,
already 2 years we became that place where we stop all this evil in our land and our country. And this resilience, I think this is a Ukrainian national feature, which now shows in such a way.
that's true. Yeah, well, I come from Donbass, from Lugansk, and the conflict started long ago. It started not 2 years ago, but 10 years ago already. And yeah, it's just something that not everyone in Europe knows, that the war has begun long before this full scale invasion. It has begun 2014, and it has been going on for a long time already.
Yes, yes, just nobody uh, give the meaning to that, right?
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
it is also very interesting question, but we don't want to go to that politics part, right, and discuss politics here, but really what our people did. And as you said, you met so many people with their stories, and it is really great that you documented that
Mhm.
stories in the book. Maybe you would like to share a few of the stories which impressed you.
Yeah, they were I collected 13 of them, and they were way more and way more impactful later. But there is a guy in Kharkiv here who is a salesperson. But when the war began, it was about Vlad Glavachik from Kharkiv. When the war began, at first, initially, he was going to Europe. He planned to go to Lviv and then further with with the parents. But when they arrived to Lviv, he said, "I remember the time when I was thinking there are so many people in Kharkiv who need help, and I cannot leave." And he just left parents and he returned back to Kharkiv with nothing, understanding that it's under massive attack at that time and it's super risky. But he found people from Dnieper who were helping with humanitarian aid, and he returned back to Kharkiv with them, and then he became the manager of the biggest humanitarian aid hub in Kharkiv, Rescue Me. So he created and organized the work of this hub, so it was able to deliver uh, what is needed to people, and he organized the work that way that it was super efficient and super effective. And he said that those challenges made him like challenge the God inside him to test it. And that's adding to your notion about spirit, yeah, that you said.
Mhm.
And this was the awakening of his spirit, of his true power. And he said, I couldn't remember how it was coming to me in every single situation. I was looking for a solution. I came and in any situation where the help was needed, I was able to concentrate, to organize people, and to work from my best qualities and apply them. And another thing was the example of of a bravery beyond my imagination. The photographer from Chernigiv, Irene Brinza, she also returned back to her town with her husband, who later was protecting the city, and she began volunteering. She had a car, she's a driver, she drives a car, and she was delivering medicine to elderly people who couldn't get anything at that point, but who needed, for example, for heart disease or anything like this. And she shared so many stories where she was on her way to someone and suddenly the shelling began, and she was right on the road, and the soldiers or officers, they were telling her just stop or go away, and she was so confused what to do, to stay or to go, and so frightened that uh, she didn't know what would happen. But later she would come back to her senses and just go and deliver the things that she had to deliver, and notice how she was protected by the spirit again. What she said, this um, inner voice, inner
Mhm.
angel who
Mhm.
was protecting her, because this delay on the road when the officers stopped her and they were trying to understand what to do protected her from being attacked at that point where she had to deliver the medicine. And she said there were so many things that this inner guidance helped her to help people, but yet she was protected also. That I think that was also a tuning into this higher power within us. And um, I named her story Angels on Earth because of it, because it initiated us to become bigger than just human beings, to become channels for something higher.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. what I discovered that this power and understanding comes when we become resilient, when we face the challenges and we deny to go after fear or
Hmm.
doubts, when we get our power back and we want to stay in control, right? And we just say that I am getting in control of situation. I'm not letting uh, anything
Dictate
else
for me.
control
Hmm.
me, right? And when we make that decision and take responsibility that there is now nobody else to save you, it is you, right? And this is how we get that clarity, and this is how we trust our intuition. And when we
Hmm.
trust our intuition, then it says like, oh yes, now you trust me, so now let me show you how, right, how I can guide you. So it is something like this, because usually people live in these chaotic thoughts every day, right? We have like that railway or highway, right, with so many trains, cars. If we think about this like as information which comes into our mind
Hmm.
every day, it is so much chaotic things, right? And people think that they're busy all the time. And what happens that they, because they're conditioned to think logically, right? From our school, parents, we
True.
conditioned to think
Yeah.
logically, like how we should get that, how, what is that, this, how is it, what is that. So our intuition totally is neglected.
Hmm.
So we forgot how to ask our intuition and how to listen to it. And even if sometimes when we ask it, we don't even have time to listen, right? We just ask and we just start thinking about something else. So we even don't let it to speak. But in such situation, when we are in trouble, right? Like when this happens, then we just stop and then we say, yes, okay, I don't have idea what to do. So my intuition, what you will say, like how you can guide me. Yes, and this
Yeah,
is
I give up. Tell me.
yeah, this is I have no plan, right? So, and
Yeah.
this is how we connect more to that higher spirit, right? This
Hmm.
to God, right? When when we understand with that we are just very as little small item in this universe, right? Like very very small piece, and then we understand that there is higher, yes, higher force and higher intelligence. And when we start tapping into it and listen and asking for solution and listen to our intuition, this is how we get guided, right? As you
Hmm.
said, we can feel that there is like invisible hand is guiding you when you allow it to do it.
Yeah, so beautiful. Thank you for pointing it out. I adore this topic because there would be time in your life when no one will tell you what to do. I remember this moment when my ex-husband he arrived and he said, "We are leaving in 15 minutes." And I was like, "What?" And it was dangerous to go because you never know where the bumpers will land and where they hit the road, and it was really scary with 3 little children. And the question whether should we go, should we stay, what would be safer to do. And I realized there is no one on this earth who will tell me what is safer to do because no one knows. And the only thing you have to listen at that moment was intuition. What is my inner gut saying? Should I go, should I stay, what would be better for me? So, and I have heard so many colleagues speaking about intuition even in business, even in such thing that we consider to be super logical, right?
Hmm?
That we think that the plans work better, but then you discover that they do not if you do not hear your inner guide, if you do not connect with your inner truth. And then I was lucky to attend the event with Elizabeth Gilbert. Probably you know the author of Eat, Pray, Love. She's super famous. She's super kind, and she was talking about the same thing. She said that one of her friends said, "You have to learn how to trust invisible things. They are the only ones you should trust." So I think
Mhm.
this is our collective lesson to learn to tap into invisible yet super important power, this spirit within us.
Yes, yes. I think that human beings are the most undiscovered
Mm.
in this
That's true.
universe. Yes, the most undiscovered, and there is so much to learn because we go to school, go to universities. I myself have two master degrees, and I studied a lot, but nobody in all these
Yeah.
institutions, nobody was telling me how to study myself.
Yeah.
I was studying diplomacy, history, geography, like for languages, and so many things, mathematics, physics, programming, everything, right? Whatever. But nobody was teaching to study myself. And this
Yeah.
is how we come to one stage in our life to personal development because we realize that this is what we really need to study ourselves, and
Mhm.
nobody teaches this. So that is why it is called personal development, right? Because it is how you find and you just go for these lessons yourself, and you
Mhm.
find your mentors and coaches who can guide you and show you the way.
Yeah.
And from study yourself, only then you understand who you really are, right?
Mhm.
And what is your mission and what is your purpose in life, and this is how life get the meaning. Because if I look before those educations which I got, yes, my business I had before, without knowing myself, my life didn't have meaning. Although it had money, I was making big money in my business before,
Okay.
but if I look back, I had no goal. I didn't know what is my purpose is. Like it is just people live in such like cliche.
Mhm.
They just condition just to live in cliche. Like you have money, you buy house. You have money, you buy car. You have money, you just invest in
That's true.
something, right? But it is there is no meaning in this, right? Like we were born with nothing, and we die. We will not take anything with us. So the only thing which we can do is to find why we are here, right? We are not here just for getting material things and just work all the day from morning to evening
Yeah.
just to get more material things, right? And even not have time to spend with loved ones and be for them. So it is a lot and again coming back to these challenges, right? Why the challenges are important. We don't want them but when we have them, they can be good for us because the challenges sometimes become that place where we wake up.
Truly, truly wake up. Yeah.
When
And
we
discover
wake up,
ourselves.
yes,
Yeah.
and when we discover ourselves, and
Mhm.
then when we find in ourselves the things, the hidden powers and hidden
Yeah.
talents and gifts which we were not aware before. And then what we do, we just start developing them. And this is how we find our mission in life and how
Mhm.
I, I, I can say that how we become valuable people, right? Because this is the value when we went through these challenges and we learned lessons. So we don't know about them just from reading a book, but we become a book. And then
Yes.
we can share and help people who can be in the same situations. Or even in the less, sometimes people just have some problem and they already panic and say, oh, like why I so unlucky, why this happened to me, right? And when we look at this we say, what is that?" Like it is
Yeah.
not even a
That's very true.
problem. So it is all about perception, how we look at things and how we can embrace challenges, because the challenges help us to grow, connect to ourselves, connect to that higher power when we don't have solutions ourselves. And this is how we connect to that extra external power to help, to find that help and grow and become better people and help others.
Yes, that's true. And I love, I teach Kundalini yoga for a reason. I have been in therapy, I have discovered all things about subconscious mind. And when I came to Kundalini yoga, it just everything fell into places. This is for me personally, this is the thing that explains everything in life. how we manage ourselves, how we function, how our life functions from the point of view of energies. And this is so true what you have mentioned about self discovery and how important it is to understand yourself, because when you are charged with your mission, when you are doing everything on purpose, and you know why, this deep why you do so, you have the support of the universe, you have this support of the spirit, you get the energy. It seems like you're connected to the power bank. And when you function only on your material level, like you function only for your human side, only to protect your human side, to have money or to have safety, it kind of, you run only on your own resources, and you do not step out the comfort zone in that scale where you truly step into the unknown. So I share my passion to this Kundalini yoga, because for me it's the science of self mastery. And when you can master your mind, I truly believe you can master anything, because when you go and start a new business, you have lots of emotions inside, negative emotions, because it's new, because you have to do this and that and learn and be a beginner and deal with your ego and talk to other people, and lots of stuff comes up. If you can manage it, you can go further. Or in relationships, if you bump into some how to say, the conflicts, yeah, people are so afraid of conflicts, and that's why they do not show their boundaries, and they are not allowed to express their true authentic desires or visions, and they are so stuck in what is socially, okay.
Mhm.
So this unlocks you from the limitation of social norms or anything, that you can free yourself and truly believe that it's valuable, like the same thing as the other person's desires or needs or anything. And when you can manage your discomfort in withstanding the conflicts, yet not forcing them, but knowing your truth and delivering it and accepting the truth of the other person, this is your mastery of self, and this can lead to a better partnership, or to setting yourself free for a better relationship, right? But we truly, when we believe that we are not capable of holding this space and managing ourselves, our emotions, we just stay where it is comfortable to stay, and we never fully accept our own potential and never look in this direction.
Yes, yes, exactly. So I would say that it is good to have challenges and have the right attitude to them and discover yourself. Yeah, because you will find so much. You will find so much in you that you were not aware, and you will enjoy this process. Because if we look back, of course we don't want to be in that situation anymore, but on the other side, those situations exactly made us who we are today. And I would not change anything, really. I would not change anything, because I learn from every situation, from every challenge. I become wiser, I become more experienced, and I become more spiritual, because every time these challenges happen, I understand that I really want to be connected to God, to spirit, and also tap into that potential, not just to be in my head, because it is a very limiting box. If we just live from our logic, our head, our programs, because we are like computers, we just programmed. We just run on autopilot based on the programs which are put in us, right? And if we are in that comfort zone, we don't even aware that we just in the loop, the same thoughts, the same feelings, actions every day, the same and same, and we feel comfortable and we see, okay, this is okay. But sometimes we really need these shocks to get us out and see that it is much more that we can do, and much more that we can help to people. And this, for me, it is really it is important to become valuable person, that I become valued, that I don't depend on any material things, but I am the person who can become uh, resource for somebody else, and
Mhm.
who can give this value to other people who need it.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you very much, Alessia. If there would be one thing that you would like to advise people to who listen to us, who may be facing challenges and go into this uh, not like say dark part in their lives, so what you would be your advice?
What would be my advice? To train your brain and to remind yourself that you are capable of more, that you have the power inside to overcome this thing and to move forward, and you have the support of the universe on your side. And never doubt yourself, never doubt your inner calling, inner voice. We are here not to obey for what has society given to us as a norm. We are here to build the reality we want.
Yes, amazing. Yes. We shouldn't give control to anything else. We shouldn't let outside factors to dictate what we can do or cannot do. Yes,
That's
we
true.
are powerful beings. We are the highest form of creation, and we have everything needed to overcome any challenge and learn from them and win and become better human beings.
Yes, that's true. Exactly. This is exactly what I want to share with others.
Oh, good, good. So, yes, and if you want to learn about Kundalini yoga or breathing exercises, Alicia is happy to help you. So, there will be contact details in the description, and you can find Alicia and connect to her. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you again. It was amazing conversation we had today.
Thank you, Lena. It was my pleasure to have this conversation with you.